Have you ever found yourself just about to achieve something you really wanted, but somehow you ended up ruining it yourself? Maybe you don't even realize it, but there's a voice inside you that's sabotaging your success. And until you recognize it, life will keep feeling stuck. Are you ready to finally understand why it feels like nothing moves forward? It took me a long time to realize that the biggest enemy in my life was me. And no, it wasn't because I wasn't trying. I was studying, working, making plans. But somehow, things always fell apart. It was like every time life started to show signs of improvement, something would happen. And most of the time, that something came from me. I'd be late on important days. I'd ignore messages that could open doors. I'd procrastinate on everything that mattered. And worst of all, I'd convince myself that maybe it just wasn't meant to be. Until one day, someone asked me, "Have you ever considered that this might be self-sabotage?" That question hit me hard, because deep down, I knew it was true. And maybe you know it too. Maybe you're hurting yourself without even noticing. And more than that, maybe the universe is trying to give you exactly what you've been asking for, but you're blocking it with fear, insecurity, or guilt. That's what we're going to talk about here. Self-sabotage is when your unconscious behaviors work against your own dreams. It's when you want something, but your actions say the opposite. It's when you say, "I want to change my life," but your habits keep you stuck in the same place. It's like there are two versions of you. One that believes and dreams, and another that's afraid and keeps pulling you back. And guess what? The one that wins is always the one you feed the most. The law of attraction doesn't listen to your excuses. It responds to your vibration. If you say you want abundance, but keep repeating that money is hard to come by, the universe won't respond to your wish, it'll respond to your belief. If you want a healthy relationship but still feel unworthy of love, you'll attract situations that reflect that. Feeling self-sabotage is like background noise interfering with your frequency. It's like trying to tune into a radio station, but you're stuck on the wrong channel. You're not sabotaging yourself because you're weak. You're doing it because you were taught to survive. Self-sabotage often comes from old emotional wounds. Fear of success. What if I get there and then lose everything? Fear of judgment. What will people say if I grow? Imposter syndrome. I'm not good enough for this. Limiting beliefs. If I change, people will leave. It's not safe to grow. These ideas sit deep in the subconscious, and like seeds, they take root quietly, holding you back. One day, I decided to write down everything I tend to do right when something good is about to happen. And what I discovered honestly scared me. Before an important interview, insomnia, uneasiness, negative thoughts. Before publishing a project, I would overread it to the point of giving up. Before meeting someone interesting, I'd come up with excuses not to go. And the worst part, I felt relieved for avoiding the risk. But over time, I realized that this relief was just the comfort of staying the same. And that was stopping me from growing. Our brain is wired to prioritize safety. And to your brain, safety means familiarity, even if it's not good for you. That's why when you try to do something new, it pushes back. You feel lazy. You doubt yourself. You find good reasons to delay things. But that's not intuition. That's self-sabotage. And you need to learn how to tell the difference to manifest what you want. You need to be aligned. And alignment requires clarity, intention, conscious action. When you sabotage yourself, you send mixed signals to the universe. It's like saying, I want a new reality, but I'm not ready for it. I believe in positive thinking, but I constantly criticize myself. The universe responds to your most consistent vibration. And if your energy is confused, your results will be too. Diego was brilliant at what he did. Talented, charismatic, well-connected. But every time an opportunity came up, he'd come up with excuses. This isn't the right time. I've got too much going on right now. Maybe in a few months. Until one day he realized he was afraid of succeeding. Because success would mean commitment. It would mean stepping out of his comfort zone. It would mean facing his own greatness. And that scared him. But once he started taking action, even while afraid, everything changed. Today, he lives doing what he loves because he understood that transformation doesn't begin on the outside. It starts within. Take a piece of paper and answer these questions honestly. What do I most want to manifest right now? What are the actions I take that are keeping me from that? What stories do I tell myself to justify these behaviors? Who would I be if I stopped sabotaging myself? This exercise can be painful, but it's freeing. It brings to light the truths you need to face, and only by recognizing the sabotage can you begin to heal it. Life wants to see you grow. The universe is supporting you at every step, but you need to stop holding yourself back. You weren't born to repeat old patterns. You're here to break them, to manifest something new, to align your heart with your actions. And that begins now. I'm going to show you how to break these cycles of sabotage. Rewire your mindset and use positive thinking in a practical way to manifest the life you deserve. Because now that you've seen the pattern, it's time to change it. After I realized that self-sabotage was what kept me stuck, the most important question came up. How do I change this? The answer didn't come from some magic formula. It came from something much simpler and far more powerful. Awareness plus repeated choice. Yes, I had to observe myself like never before. Notice my behaviors, my thoughts, my automatic patterns, and consciously choose to act differently. Even when fear was still there, even when quitting seemed easier, that's when the transformation really began. Everything you repeat becomes a pattern, and the universe responds to repetition. If you wake up every day thinking, I never finish what I start, you're conditioning your mind and your energy for that outcome. Manifestation happens when your energy is consistent, and that starts with what you repeat. So one of the first changes I made was to shift my mental mantras. I swapped I'm a failure for I'm learning to stay committed. I replaced I always mess things up with I'm becoming more aligned with what I want. I stopped saying I can't and started saying I can't yet, but I'm evolving. This reprogramming, even though it seemed simple, began shifting my vibration, and the universe started responding differently. Self-sabotage isn't always obvious. Sometimes it shows up as overplanning, as perfectionism, as waiting for the perfect moment. Have you ever told yourself, I'll start when I have more time? I need to learn more before I take action. I'm not ready yet. I should wait a bit more. These phrases sound rational, but often they're just elegant excuses to stay where you are. I caught myself in this cycle many times, planning more than living, researching more than applying, doubting more than trying. It was only when I accepted to start with what I had, in the way I could, that things began to flow. Marcos was an incredible artist. His drawings were exceptional. He had brilliant ideas, but he never showed anyone his work. He kept saying it wasn't good enough, that he needed to study more, that one day he would create something truly amazing. He spent 6 years stuck, until a friend challenged him to post one drawing per week, even if unfinished. At first, it was an emotional roller coaster, but he did it, and in less than a year, Marcos was selling art, exhibiting his work, and living off his passion. The difference: he stopped waiting to be ready and started acting in the middle of fear. Manifestation doesn't happen when you become perfect. It happens when you commit. It's your commitment to the new version of yourself that begins attracting new realities. You don't need to be 100% confident. You just need to move with intention, with faith, with positive thinking. And then the universe aligns, because the universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you're willing to live consistently. How many times have you said or heard, "That's just how I am. I've always been insecure. I've never been good at this. I only work well under pressure"? Those phrases are not identity. They're stories you've told yourself for so long. They started sounding like truth. Here's a new truth. You are not your old patterns. You are what you choose to believe from now on. And if you keep defining yourself by your limitations, the universe will keep reflecting them back to you. Take a piece of paper and write down 3 limiting beliefs you often repeat to yourself. Then rewrite each one as a positive affirmation. Example: I can never stay focused. I'm learning to keep my attention on what matters. I'm too anxious to succeed at something big. Every day, I'm cultivating calm and confidence. I always sabotage myself. I'm breaking old patterns and creating new paths. Read them every day for the next 21 days. This repetition will begin to shape your new vibration. The law of attraction doesn't respond to empty words. It responds to dominant frequency. You can say you want to prosper 100 times, but if you spend your day anxious, guilty, or self-critical, that's the energy you're transmitting. Positive thinking isn't about ignoring reality. It's about consciously choosing where you place your energy. It's deciding to trust the process, even when there are no guarantees. And when you act with that trust, the universe receives the message and starts moving in your favor. Remember when you first learned to drive? At first, everything felt overwhelming. Shifting gears, checking mirrors, braking, accelerating, watching the road. But with time, repetition created flow. Now you drive almost automatically. The same happens with behavior. If you keep repeating self-sabotage, it becomes automatic. But if you start repeating conscious, confident actions, those become your new normal. And that reprograms not only your mind, it reprograms your life. Laura used to dream of becoming a public speaker, but she would freeze at the thought of speaking in front of people. She used to say, "I'm too shy. I'll never be able to do it." Until she decided to change her story. She started recording short videos, just for herself. Later, she began posting one video a week. Then one day, she was invited to speak on a podcast. And today, she gives talks all over Brazil. Not because she cured her shyness, but because she chose to take action in spite of it. And with time, courage became second nature. The universe responded to the version of her who decided not to quit. Create a simple daily habit to strengthen your commitment. Write 3 small goals each day and complete them. Record voice notes with empowering affirmations. Repeat 5 affirmations in front of the mirror every morning. It's not about how big the gesture is. It's about the energy behind it. That's what keeps you aligned with what you want to manifest. You've seen it now. Self-sabotage isn't some invisible monster. It's a pattern, and patterns can be rewritten. You are not stuck in who you used to be. You are free to create a new story, a new self, a new reality. But for that to last, we have to go a step further. I'm going to show you how to protect your mind and energy so you don't fall back into old habits. Because breaking the cycle is one thing, maintaining the new pattern, that's another. The hardest part isn't recognizing self-sabotage. It's resisting the temptation to return to it once life starts getting better. Sounds strange, right? But when you begin to thrive, your old mindset screams, "Do you really deserve this? What if it all falls apart?" And suddenly, without realizing it, you start sabotaging again, just to return to what feels familiar, what feels safe. That's why I had to learn something crucial. Protect my mind. Not with rigidity, but with awareness, with energetic boundaries, with daily choices that reinforce my new frequency. Here's something few people talk about. Self-sabotage feeds off what you watch, listen to, read, and talk about. If you're surrounded by negativity, consuming content that reinforces lack, and constantly exposed to tragic news, of course your vibration will be unstable. I had to walk away from a lot. People who laughed at my dreams videos that amplified fear, and comparison music that brought my energy down, and instead, I chose books on personal growth, YouTube channels about manifestation and positive thinking. Yes, silence taught me more than I imagined through these choices. I started to rebuild my emotional foundation. I began creating a new inner narrative. If you want to reinforce this mindset, these books helped me immensely. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Joseph Murphy taught me how to reprogram my mind in a simple, powerful way. The Secret. Rhonda Byrne showed me how every thought activates the law of attraction. You can heal your life. Louise Hay helped me realize how thoughts can create either illness or healing. Don't rush through these books. Read them slowly. Take notes. Reflect. Apply. The universe loves when you study with intention, because that raises your vibration. And manifestation flows more naturally from there. Self-sabotage sneaks in when you're distracted. That's why you need to create daily moments of reconnection. It doesn't have to be complicated, just simple rituals like, when you wake up, place your hand on your heart and say, Today I act with intention. I allow myself to move forward. I deserve the best. Before going to bed, repeat. Everything is aligning for me. The universe is taking care of every detail. During the day, take a deep breath and remind yourself, I'm in progress, and everything is okay. These phrases, when repeated with intention, help reprogram your energetic field. They bring you back to your center and keep old patterns from pulling you back. Once you decide to change, the universe will test you, not as punishment, but as confirmation. It's asking, do you truly want a different life, or are you just curious? These tests show up as invitations to go back to your old ways, emotional discomfort situations that feel like setbacks. But here's the secret. If you keep acting like your new self, the universe will shift in your favor. Because manifestation is about alignment. It's about repeating the new reality until it feels natural. It's about choosing every single day to trust. In the beginning, everything seemed to go wrong. Crisis, bills, criticism. She almost gave up and went back to the old path. But every day, she whispered to herself, I trust the universe's timing. I am being shaped. Self-sabotage often comes from the desire to control everything, to have certainty, to avoid any risk. But manifestation doesn't work like that. It requires surrender, faith, believing without needing proof. Things began to change when I stopped trying to control the outcome and started trusting the process. The universe knows what it's doing, but it can only flow freely when you let go. Ask yourself honestly, what am I still trying to control? In which area of my life do I say I trust, but still act out of fear? What can I release today? Write it down. Reflect. Take action. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting that there is intelligent flow behind everything, and that the universe doesn't miss the address of someone aligned with intention. A practical way to disarm self-sabotage is to make a list of micro-actions aligned with your new version of yourself. For example, if you want to be a healthier person, don't promise to change your whole diet tomorrow. Start with one light meal per day. If you want to start a business, don't wait until you know everything. Publish something simple today. If you want a better relationship, send a sincere message. Start with honest dialogue. Aligned action sends a clear message to the universe. I'm ready. And when you act as if you're already the person you want to become, reality starts responding. Self-sabotage thrives on the almost. You almost started, almost signed up for that course, almost called that person, almost published that project, but almost doesn't change lives. What transforms is the decision, and deciding is uncomfortable because it requires movement even without certainty. But manifestation needs that intentional motion. Now that you understand how to protect your mind and act with clarity, you're ready for the next step. I'll show you how to maintain consistency, recognize your progress, and use positive thinking as daily fuel. Because the real secret isn't just breaking from the old, it's sustaining the new until it becomes your truth. You know what makes the difference between those who change their lives and those who stay stuck in the same cycles. Consistency, not talent, not luck, not having the perfect plan. It's the ability to keep doing what's right even when motivation fades, even when no one is watching, even when doubt shows up again. This inner reconciliation opens the way for true manifestation, because you stop sabotaging yourself as punishment and start acting out of self-love. Repeat every day, I am ready to live my best life. I act with courage, even when I'm afraid, because fear will show up. And that's when you show the universe you're serious about your transformation. You don't eliminate self-sabotage in one shot. You weaken it by strengthening your new version every single day. Imagine that with each conscious action, you're placing a brick in the foundation of your new life. When you choose to act with faith instead of fear, when you celebrate small progress instead of criticizing yourself, when you keep going, even when you mess up, you're saying to the universe, this is the reality I want to manifest. And the universe responds with opportunities, synchronicities, people, ideas. Everything aligns with who you're becoming. Self-sabotage loves silence. It grows when your mind is left to wander and obsess over what went wrong. So fill your environment with uplifting energy. Listen to music that makes you feel empowered. Play affirmations while you clean the house, watch short inspirational videos, read quotes from books that remind you of who you reach, like taking a daily energy shower. You don't wait until you're dirty to shower, right? It's the same with your mind. Every day, cleanse your thoughts to keep your frequency high. Create a short daily ritual, even if it's just 5 minutes, to write down a sabotage you overcame today, a positive thought you chose to nurture, an action aligned with your new self. Doing this reminds you that you are in control and that the process is working. Even if you can't see it yet, the universe is already in motion. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools in manifestation. But it's not just about imagining pretty pictures. You need to feel like you're already living it. Every day, before sleeping or right after waking up, close your eyes, imagine yourself living the life you want. Feel the joy, the lightness, the fulfillment. Breathe deeply and say, I accept this reality. It is already mine. This adjusts your frequency, and the universe responds to what resonates with that vibration. Diego spent years in a cycle of self-sabotage. Every time things started going well, he would disappear. He stopped posting, stopped replying, stopped taking care of himself. Eventually, he realized he was afraid of success, because success meant change, and change is scary. But he decided to create new habits. Started with 5 minutes of affirmations per day, then created a vision board, wrote down 3 things he did for himself each day. No, he runs a growing online business, not because he eliminated fear, but because he chose to feed his faith. The universe has no opinion on what you deserve. It only responds to your dominant vibration. If you vibrate scarcity, insecurity, self-criticism, it reflects situations that match that. But if you vibrate worthiness, faith, joy, and presence, it brings you expansion. So the real question isn't, do I deserve it? It's, what am I choosing to feel and repeat every day? One of the deepest roots of self-sabotage is guilt. Guilt for your past mistakes. Guilt for giving up so many times. Guilt for hiding, comparing, and playing small. But here's a truth that changed my life. Guilt keeps you stuck in the past. Forgiveness sets you free in the present. You're not here to be perfect. You're here to grow. And growth includes mistakes, pauses, and regrets. Self-forgiveness is the most revolutionary act. It's saying, even with everything, I still deserve the best. And when you believe that, the universe starts treating you that way too, right? A letter to your past self. Speak with kindness. Say you understand the choices they made with what they knew. Thank them for the lessons. And write, from now on, I take care of you, and I choose to lead us toward the best. I am worthy of the life I desire. The universe supports me every step of the way. I'm becoming someone who vibrates in solutions, not problems. The more you affirm it, the more your mind believes. And the more your mind believes, the more your life reflects it. You don't need to wait any longer. You don't need to be fully healed, ready, or confident. You just need to start acting like someone who believes in themselves. Today, that changes everything, because self-sabotage will keep trying to pull you back. But now, you have tools, you have awareness, and most importantly, you have power. The universe is ready. Manifestation is one step away from you, and that step only you can take. So ask yourself, what would I do today if I truly believed I could succeed? What would my routine look like if I treated myself as someone valuable? What am I waiting for to start acting like my best self? Answer these questions with action, and watch how life responds differently. If this message spoke to your heart, if something inside you just clicked, then it's time to commit to this change. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications bell here. You'll always find words that remind you of your power, your worth, and your ability to create the life you deserve.